What is going on, Casually FC? Welcome to the match reaction for Fulham 0, Chelsea 2. Yes, you heard it right. Fulham 0, Chelsea 2. I am Marshalldbdx, accompanied by my panel of Oliver, Scott, and Ahmed. We're going to be talking about the game. We're going to be, sharing with you how happy we are. They actually won another game, 2 games in a row. It's crazy. Can't believe it. And two great goals as well. We'll talk about them, but before we do, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you're new here. We're on our way to 3K, so you can help us get there, and 69% of you guys that do watch the channel are not subscribed, so help us out by subscribing, smashing the like, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out when we do go live. Check out the links down below in the description for Ahmed's YouTube, help him get to 1K. We also have the Twitter, my other links, the Discord, all that fun stuff down there. Check out the comments. Leave a comment, let us know what you guys think about the game and your thoughts and anything that we have to say. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to check out memberships. There are 4 different tiers starting at 99p. You can also, I didn't know this, but you can also gift memberships. So big up to all of you guys who are members. Enjoy your emojis. There's a lot of fun ones there. If we get one more member at this stream, I believe we can unlock another emoji. So, hey, if you're thinking about it, don't think anymore. Just do it. But anyways, big up to everyone, and let's just get into it. Quick summary of the game. First half is where all the action happened. Surprisingly, Armando Broja started off the game. Considering the amount of fitness he has, I was surprised to see him and not Sterling. Apparently, Sterling was sick and didn't train over the weekend, so that means Broja got the nod to start, and he had some pretty good moments. One very notable one, which was missing a pretty open goal. He was offside, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for him, otherwise it would have been really embarrassing. But regardless, like, you should be scoring those. But nevertheless, pretty good game for Chelsea. Looked pretty good in the beginning. Around the 18th minute, Mykhailo Mudryk and Levi Colwill goes up to the left on the left flank, crosses it over to Mykhailo Mudryk, who beautifully chests it down and then gets us on the score sheet first, giving us our 1-0. And Mudryk getting himself his first goal as a Chelsea player in regular season, so not preseason. So good for him, giving him some confidence, and he's been playing well as of recently as well. And then a minute later, error from Ream in a defense for Fulham, giving BROJA the opportunity to get his foot in and give us the second goal that gave us pretty much the lead, and the lead that we're going to keep for the rest of the game. Second half was a little bit more dead. You could see Pochettino was playing a little bit more defensively minded with the subs and all that. But that being said, we got a victory. A long needed one. We need to continue these victories while we still have them. We got Burnley next. But yeah, overall, pretty content with the game, pretty content with the goal scorers and Mudryk and Broja. Both of them, I think Broja deserved the goal coming back from that long knee injury. His first start back, gets his first goal, and Mudryk, who's been playing electric. I think he's just been phenomenal as of late. Maybe not phenomenal, but he's been great. And he gets himself a goal as well, much deserved goal, and a very beautiful cross from Levi Colwill as well. Can't deny that. But who wants to take it away? What are your thoughts on the games, guys? Oh God! All right, whoever wants to go. Not everyone will rush at once.
I'll start. Listen, we needed the result. Obviously, Brighton was a good one. Poor first half, better second half. The result is what matters at the end of the day. The start of the season hasn't been good enough by any measure. I know people want to throw underlying stats at you, but the only thing that matters is the scoreline at the end of the day. So just good to see that we're putting some results together. And granted, I don't think Fulham were particularly threatening today. You could level that at us that we could have had a better challenge against a more fierce opponent, but you got to beat what's in front of you. We did, and I'm fine with it for now. It's just start building on this. Let's start improving the performance. Maybe start having some more control throughout the whole game. It's just build on it really. But it's a good step for now. So I don't have too much to complain about. I'm happy for Mudryk, and I don't know. Anyone else wants to go?
I think this was I can go ahead, Scott. You know what? Go ahead, Scott. I speak too much anyway. You go.
Okay. I was quite happy with the performance. I think that we obviously did drop off a bit in the second half, but that was going to happen. I think we're not at this stage where we can dominate teams for 90 minutes, at least not yet. I thought it was a good performance. I thought that everyone performed. I don't think there was a poor performance on the pitch, personally. From those that started the game, I thought even those that came on, in terms of the subs, I thought that they did their roles that they were asked to do well enough. And yeah, I just don't have really anything to complain about. Even Pochettino, I don't think he did anything wrong this game. I thought the way he set us up was actually quite nice to see, in terms of Enzo actually playing deeper, Gallagher in the 10, which we've been asking for. It's a simple change, but it worked effectively tonight. You saw as well Palmer playing out wide right. I thought might be not an issue, but I didn't know if he was going to perform as well as we've seen him perform in the last game at 10. But he was really good. He was excellent. Cucurella again, excellent, incredible, at right back. And you I'm happy to see him start to kind of get back to where he was at Brighton. Colwill again as well, I thought was excellent, and we're starting to see a bit more of him going forward, which is surprising, considering how good he was defensively last season for Brighton. It's interesting to see him kind of have to flip that and do more going forward, and he started to take kind of the training or the experience that he's had doing that and started to run with it. And yeah, I just thought it was an overall total performance. Like I said, I don't have a bad word really to say about anyone in the team in terms of the way we played, and just seeing some of the people. It was nice to see BROJA back. It looked like at the first start, it looked like he was a bit leggy. It looked like he was a bit tired, but he grew into the game, I thought, and he offered something I think a bit different than what Jackson's offered. In terms of, I didn't think he offered really anything in build up, but he didn't really have to, which is nice. And I think that's something where you can maybe start to get Jackson when he comes back to do a little bit less. If he helps out a little bit less in build up, maybe it means he's picking up similar positions to we saw BROJA picking up tonight, which means he might get more involved in terms of more goals. Yeah, like I said, just a really good performance, and I just don't have anything to complain about. The only thing I really have to complain about, actually, I suppose, is not even anything to do with the team. It's just the fact that we may have a couple more injuries. But apart from that, it's not really anything else.
The referee as well, just to add.
I'll be honest. I'll be real. Bar the VAR thing, which wasn't on him, I thought the referee had a good game.
I meant the wider officiating. My bad, but that VAR thing with Vinicius, yeah,
that was a bunch of nonsense. But I actually thought the referee did a really good job, considering all the nonsense that's been going on with refereeing over the last couple of days, and rightfully so. I thought the referee had a really good game, controlled the game really well.
Ahmed, while you go ahead and give us your recap of the game, can you answer this for?
Apparently Mudryk had what's it called? A little knock on top of the thigh, like a bruise or something like that. That's what they're saying. Yeah, up on the upper thigh. So, but apparently he should be ready and available to play the next game. So it's all good, man. Then there was a precautionary thing, and by the way, given crap minutes. And listen,
you got the Batshuayi sub.
Listen, I told Mandem before that maybe Pochettino doesn't rate him, and I'm just getting proven right every single time. I keep getting proven right every single game after game. Marshall can, do his
this
little
man says every single time. You just came up with this theory last game, bro. It's been one game, and you're already.
I said it on Casually
every single time.
I said this in chat. Yeah, I said this to you before when we got
my days.
Apparently, he didn't rate this guy. Yeah, when he was at Tottenham, and it seems that storyline has continued further. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Getting given 30 seconds is crazy, bro. That's all I'm saying. You know how?
I mean, you're not wrong about that, but also,
come on, bro. We need
showing,
to be,
bro.
I'm just keeping it a buck in it. That's all I'm saying. So,
in
regards to the performance, it was a good performance. We did what we did against Brighton, where we were a bit more, in the sense, a lot more aggressive in the first half, going forward, doing what we needed to do. I think the difference was that also, if you compared to some of the other teams that we faced, such as a Villa, such as a Bournemouth, they provided us with that space for them when they were going forward. So, and that allowed our, particularly our younger players, the time and effort that they needed to, to do what they needed to do. In my opinion, I was very happy at the end of the day for Mudryk's goal, but the reality of the situation is, if you had to give a little downside to the goal, it's that Cole was the guy that assisted the goal, so now it's even giving him more, more Ahmed to say he can now play left back. So he is where it is. He's got to hold that one still, but I'm happy for Mudryk Mudryk goal. The second one, I'm just happy that bro somehow got a touch on it to give him a goal
Yeah.
because obviously he's had an ACL injury. But it's what it is, man. I'm happy for him too. I really like the idea, of Gallagher in the 10. I've said this before. Gallagher 10 is probably what we need. It works better that way. And for me, the Enzo Caicedo pivot is all we needed to see. And that pivot worked perfectly in this game, in my opinion.
Yes.
And that's what we wanted to see. This is the first time they've really played next to each other, in my opinion, too, since Caicedo's come to the club. So it's much needed at the end of the day. So Palmer, I want to give a lot of props to Palmer. He felt like he was like one of the missing players that we've needed a lot. You know what I'm saying? He was really able to connect that midfield and attack. His final balls are really great. Yeah, he tried to shoot one or two times a bit more than he may have needed to, but he was a great, he had a really great game. And for me personally, man, Sterling, bro, it's time to sit down on the bench. Hold bench for me, because next game I don't want to see Sterling play. I would really much prefer we play the same formation and same formation, of course.
Run the same front four, you mean?
Yeah,
or similar
front four, in my opinion.
Like maybe BROJA out for Jackson.
Honestly, you know what? I would actually give Broja a chance.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Because I think for me, particularly in a game like Burnley, you need someone that's a bit more physical, in my opinion, a bit more physical striker. And I think, again, I said this before, something that I always said, going forward this season, is that we need to make sure we keep two different archetypes of strikers. We can't, because one of the reasons why I was firstly against Colin Moani was that Moani and Jackson are similar archetypes of players. So for me, there's no point of bringing in someone like Moani when you've got someone like Jackson, similar archetypes. You're going to be bringing on essentially like strikers. Broja, for example, is a lot more. He's a bit more of like one of those old school strikers. Very good defensively. He's able to use his body really well. Can turn on a player. Great link up play. So that's the sort of thing that I was looking for. If you were to bring in a different striker at the end of the day, so that's all it is for me personally. And then it's an all right win, but I will say this again: long term, Thiago Silva cannot be playing this team. I always bang on about this. Obviously, probably Cucurella's last game is probably going to be against outright back, will probably be against Burnley. Then I would assume that then you probably push him out back to the left back position so that you can allow Malo Gusto to come back in, or Reece James, because both of them are going to be fit and available for the Arsenal game after the international break. And and then I think for me, Gallagher. I like Gallagher, but if you are wish to play someone like a Sterling Madueke going forward on that right wing, but less so Madueke, but more so Sterling, you probably might want to be playing Cole Palmer in that 10 role and then have Caicedo and Enzo in that pivot. But that's all it is really for me.
So, I mean, to touch on what you just said about the whole, Sterling, you don't want to see him come back. I think this goes hand in hand with the Gallagher in the 10. I think Gallagher did play a good game today. I think he's up there for a man of the match performance. However, I will say that going forward, when Nkunku comes back, when we have Jackson the next game, when even Carney comes back, I just don't see Gallagher holding that position over those players. You know what I'm saying? In the 10, like Gallagher
exactly, that's my point, bro.
Today.
Yeah.
I think that Gallagher did work today, but I think what made it better is the fact that we had the double pivot that we wanted, which is Enzo and Caicedo. I think that's what really put in a lot of the work, especially Caicedo. Caicedo was phenomenal today. So I don't know. What do you guys think about going forward? Do you bench Raheem Sterling? Or do you put him back into this game and then maybe you shift Palmer to a 10 and you drop Gallagher? I personally would drop Gallagher. I just don't think Poch is going to do it.
It's the problem that I've said this before is that Poch likes Gallagher too much to drop him right now. Until you see an Nkunku come back or Chukwuemeka even come back, you may not even drop him. And even Chukwuemeka, I don't think if Chukwuemeka comes back, he's dropping Gallagher. I'll be real. The way he's moving, I don't know, bro. And part of the problem is also this captaincy thing now. Is also over him now. You know that Chilwell's not going to be here for a month. Reece James, whether we like it or not, he may play 1 or 2 games and then, injury time, hamstring again, 2 months out. So, what I'm saying to you, that is the problem that you got to have. Eventually, Gallagher might just need to be playing. I'll be real. But I don't know if you guys saw did you guys read the pre-match comments on why Gallagher was playing?
No.
Yeah,
I didn't
Yeah.
see them. So
essentially,
if you
the
can
reason
just
why we're
tell
playing
me.
Gallagher, yeah, and well, one of the main reasons we play Gallagher is because of Thiago Silva. Essentially, because remember, something that me and Surf have spoken about before is that your defenders or your defensive guys have to play a bit more deeper, 10 meters like deeper, center or 5 meters deeper. Whenever we play with Thiago Silva to protect him a bit more, and that's why apparently he's essentially playing for me. If you remove Thiago Silva out of the equation, I don't know if Gallagher maybe starts.
Thing is, though, he went and completely contradicted himself with the setup by then putting Gallagher as the 10.
So I'm saying to you,
That was the weird thing for me.
I thought you were going to say something. Sorry, Ahmed. I actually, with the whole Thiago Silva thing, I wanted to ask you guys. I think today goes to show that as long as you have the right pivot in front of Thiago Silva, so in this case Enzo and Caicedo, I think you can get away with having Silva in the lineup. And I'm not saying
no.
But hold on, but I'm also not saying that I want Silva to be in every single game, because I agree with most of you guys saying that if he's slowing down in terms of how reliable and how consistent his performance is going to be, then I think we do need to start phasing him out. But I don't think Poch sees that in his plans. So if we're going to have to play Silva because Poch wants to play Silva, then I think you can do it as long as your pivot is Enzo and Caicedo. Because I think you don't have to rely on Silva to dictate the tempo of the game anymore. Now you're more so relying on Enzo and Caicedo to do that for you, which I think was the issue before when we didn't have that.
I'm sorry. The problem is here. Guess who we played today? Who is the striker we played against? Carlos Vinicius and Raul Jimenez. They're not going to really cause you that many problems if we're being honest as a defense, right? If we're being honest about it as strikers, right? And like
you say that, but we struggled against lesser teams this season already.
Not really. What for me, Tayo. Well, let's look at Bournemouth for example, right? Bournemouth didn't score against us, for example, but they had good players. Like Solanke is going to give you a problem, but maybe he might not be effective in scoring, but he will give your defenders.
Just a wasteful team, really.
Exactly, right. And then you go to Nottingham Forest. They had Tayo Awoniyi, a guy that's very good. Again, who will cause you problems? He will do that for you. Like Raul Jimenez has not been in form for a very long time. We've known that. Carlos Vinicius is a Tottenham reject. That's the point I think I would make to your point, bro. Like, so these guys like that we faced today have maybe made our lives a bit more easier for Thiago Silva. But in the long term, when you're facing regular teams with regular competent strikers, the issues will still be there, in my opinion.
But like, I mean, I don't know. Actually, does anyone else have anything to say to what Ahmed just said or on this topic?
Yeah, I will. Sorry, Scott.
I do think long term that Ahmed's right in terms of like long term, Gallagher and Silva should not be in this team going forward. Especially Silva should not be in this team going forward. But on the basis of the game today, if you're just looking at it from a short term perspective, I don't really have any complaints about how either of them played today. Like, I think long term Silva can't be playing in this team because he just slows us down too much, and I do think you need to get it's not even necessarily because he's a bad player. Because I don't think he's a bad player. It's not even because of the fact he's a detriment to the team, which I think he can be at times. It's more of a fact of like we can't be consistently playing a 39-year-old guy. Like unless they're a goalkeeper, you can't be playing a 39-year-old consistently. That just doesn't work. You need to eventually have a contingency plan, and it looks like our contingency plan, is either Badu Chile or is Fafana if he can stay fit for more than about a day.
Yeah, true.
Or something like that. But yeah, like as of today, like I've got no qualms about either of them playing. Like I thought both were good. Like I said this earlier, I don't have qualms about anyone that played today. Even the subs, like I don't think they did anything wrong when they came on. Like even Sterling, he wasn't great, but I think that was during a period in the game where we were basically trying to use him as like an outlet, and we just didn't really give him anything to work with. And he didn't really get a chance to do anything because a lot of the time that was when Fulham had the ball. So yeah, as I said, like when it comes to those guys, I don't have a complaint as of today. And yeah, kind of I just want to see where we go moving forward, to be honest, with this team, because like today was really good, It's just we've seen this too many times where we have a good performance and then the next game is trash. Luckily, we've got a team in Burnley who are going to be open. We've seen so far this season that defensively they can be open. They play good football, but they will give you a chance or two. So like hopefully we can capitalize on that similarly to how we did with Fulham today. And we're showing
a final game before the hard run, guys. So and luckily we got international break in between that. So hey man, so this Burnley game, another is going to be like essentially prep for the Arsenal game, and it will be in 2 weeks after that one. So
so I mean, back to what something that I wanted to point out that Scott had mentioned, and I wanted to ask him this. I know you had mentioned like today we got away with having Silva, is slow, but like when we have a pivot like we had today with Enzo and Caicedo, do you really think that Silva is that much of an impact when it comes to the tempo of the game? Because it feels like to me that Silva really only controls the tempo of the game when he doesn't have that pivot protecting him per se.
I still think he's slow in general in comparison to everyone else around him. I don't think that changes particularly. I don't think that changes particularly with the players around him because like we've seen this like this is a problem that some fans have been speaking about for ages, and this is when like you look at the players we've had around him, whether it be Enzo, Gallagher, Caicedo, Jorginho, Kovacic, Kante. He's had this problem for a while. So yeah, I would not say it's anything to do with the players around him. I think it's just a him thing. I think sometimes you can play against teams where it's not as much of an issue. Like today, it wasn't an issue. But you can then play against teams where it becomes an issue. Like we saw against I'm trying to think what team it was against. Was it Bournemouth or was it the game before?
It was it was literally Bournemouth, bro. Bournemouth was the game where we literally.
It was the Bournemouth game. Yeah, it was the Bournemouth game. Yeah, that was a game you could tell it was a problem. This game, it wasn't a problem. Like it just wasn't an issue.
Do you know what it is?
Really, it's not. It's one of those things that you can't judge how it's going to be until after you see the game, because you don't you can't tell unless, for example, right, you're playing like a team that is really well known for pressing high up the pitch and getting in your face consistently, right? Unless you're going to be playing that type of team, you can't really tell whether a team is going to be a problem in terms of that. It's just something you've got to just witness in the moment and see if it's a problem or not, sort of thing.
Do you know what it is, Marshall? Yeah? At the end of the day, whether we like it or not, bro, we can't have a 39-year-old defender, team, bro. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter how great of a legend he is, which he is a legend, and a great defender. But as a team, you need to move on, bro. Do you get the point? Do you get my point? And that's even about me. Yeah. That's even like removing like some of the criticisms we may have of him as a player.
The thing is, though, like I agree with you. The only thing we disagree on is when that process should begin. And I still this season I don't know what's gonna happen, right? Like this season, like there have been some questionable performances from Thiago Silva. Is this a sign of things to come? I'm not entirely convinced yet that it is. Like, is this a sign of like age finally catching up to him and he's slowing down, or did he just have one or two bad games and the whole team was also bad? Like, or is it next season where we're going to start to see the decline? I don't know if the decline has started, and I'm not opposed to just, if he's playing well, play him. And if he's not, then you start phasing him out. Then you start seeing the signs. I'm on the wall right now, and I'm leaning more towards that. Maybe it is time to phase him out, because I think I do start seeing the errors. I do start seeing like the I guess the slowness and the indecisiveness and in the actions he's been making as well. So we'll see what happens with him.
Can I give you an example quickly before you finish up?
Oh,
I'll give you a nice little cheeky example. Look at like Rafael Varane, right? Varane, right, last season was at the peak of his powers. Like for United, was playing really well. Was at the peak of his powers, right?
Sure.
And this season, obviously he has come back, but he's been getting now injured quite successfully and everything. And United didn't plan for that to happen. And what's happened? It's now kind of causing them to to hurt them right now. As a team, the best time to, if you're on top of stuff and everything, the best time to change him was when you see the end of the peak, because after the peak there's always a decline, and obviously we now know Broja's available. Not Broja, but it should be available now, right? It's time we start phasing the brother out. This is really as simple as that for me. Phasing them out doesn't mean that we have to take him out of the start lineup straight away, but it can be a gradual process where we remove him, we play 1 or 2 games of Buddy Show, we bring him back, but we do that over time, if that makes sense. That's what we need to do throughout the season. That's all it is for me.
Yeah. Andrew, I know you wanted to say something earlier. I don't know if you still want to say.
I can understand that Fulham aren't the greatest team. Still the team that, I don't know, one of their goals they got help with, but still the team that held Arsenal 2-2, still went up, I think once or twice up at sea for a controversial goal. I think more has to be given to the fact that we controlled that game essentially from start to finish. And so much so with I can't remember watching a game feeling so calm. Like with 30 minutes to go, I haven't felt like that in a very long time. So a good performance for me. I like that. That's the type of goal I wanted us to win 1-0 by, that BROJA goal, the shithousery of the goal, where it just bobbled off his foot and went in. That's what I wanted. I also thought, I don't know if anything noticed, and this isn't a fault, this isn't a criticism. Him and Jackson are very different centre forwards. Broja will go collect the ball up wide, as we saw when he crossed it and no one was there, but he likes to stay really central and up high. Do you know what I mean? Like he did it a few times, but he won't drop as much as Jackson does. So maybe that's a bit of a difference as well. Maybe they could even play together during this time. But I thought that the Mudryk goal was very, very good. And just on a side note, Marshall absolutely destroyed me in fantasy draft this week. Just on a point of note there. He absolutely rinsed me. I can't believe it. Ollie Watkins. Ollie fucking Watkins. Unbelievable. The one thing that's got me concerned coming out of the game was the knocks picked up Hustle. Obviously, Mudryk went off at half time with a knock, apparently. We saw both Caicedo and Enzo slightly limping off, especially. And Broja was, I think Broja was just cramp, I believe.
Secret Scout said it was planned for him to only have 60 minutes.
Yeah, they look like cramp. I just hope we got enough. I hope all of them were able to play against Burnley. But I thought today, Enzo just looked like he was just having a kick about with his friends out there tonight, man. So some of the passes were just like they were near enough insulting in the way he was just like passing it about and stuff like that. And Caicedo was doing all the dirty work, which I like. Conor Gallagher played well. Cucurella played well. Who else? Everyone really played well. There's no complaint. The only complaint to me is the injuries we could have potentially picked up. It's the only real complaints I have. So
yeah.
And by the way, our goal of the month competition is off to a flyer this month.
Yeah, look at that. So Poch had some comments. Mauricio Pochettino, Mykhailo Mudryk. He played because he deserved, and he has shown in training sessions that he deserved it. Normally, the player needs to show us, as opposed to before. I guess I don't know. I guess he wasn't playing before. For what reason he didn't deserve it, I don't know. It's kind of weird, but no, I think Mudryk does deserve to play. He's been playing fantastic. This is what happens when you give him play time and you give him time to mesh with the team and have some chemistry. Like you start seeing performances like this, and he's been playing really well. Mauricio Pochettino, it's always important for the offensive players to score. It was Mykhailo Mudryk's squad. Hope it was not a big issue, and we'll be ready for Saturday. I am so happy for both of them, Armando Broja included in that. Hopefully he can recover for the weekend. But I was really surprised to see Broja start. Only just found out, when the game started that it was because Sterling had a virus and couldn't start. Otherwise, it probably would have been Sterling. But I guess we'll start off with Mudryk. If he's been playing really well, do we just keep him there, guys? I don't know.
Yep.
All right, go ahead, Scott.
This is the thing with the Mudryk thing, and this is the issue I've had with some other managers that we've had at Chelsea. I had this issue with Tuchel, especially like as good as he was. This is one of the biggest issues I had with Tuchel. It's the issue I had with Potter last season at times as well. If he's playing well, he's just scored, and even before this game, he was playing well. Like he played well against Brighton, he played well against who was the last two games he played? Villa, he played well,
Bournemouth.
and Bournemouth, he played well. Like he's been playing well. Like keep it going. Like the you could tell there was a couple moments like before he scored. There was a couple moments where like he was having a shaky game. He didn't look confident. As soon as he scored the goal, it completely changed. Like the goal completely changed how he was playing. As soon as he scored, all of a sudden he was playing with confidence. You could see he was taking players on a lot more confidently. He was getting in nice spaces, driving with the ball a lot better. Like some players do just run off confidence, and Mudryk's clearly one of those guys. And show that you have faith in him. Like you've shown it so far, keep it going. Now that he scored, as long as he is fit enough to play. Obviously, if there is a problem in terms of he might not be fit enough, if it's more serious in terms of the injury than we think, then that's fair enough. But if he's fit enough to play, he should be starting. Like there's no one else that deserves to start in his position right now.
It's almost as if they were listening to us when we're saying, just give him a run in the team. Let's see what he can do.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's amazing, right? Just give a player a run in the team, see what he can do. He's getting picked, and then his confidence grows because he keeps getting picked, and everything like that. You know what I like about him most? I don't know what that. I do not know what the hell he's going to do with that ball every time he gets it. And to detract him from our guys, I don't think our guys know what he's going to do, but the opponents don't know what he's going to do either. There's no way people thought he was going to score that goal today like he did. That was a fantastic chest trap, and the first time finish was excellent.
With the weak foot as well.
Yeah.
You're right.
It was weaker foot with his left foot.
I also just need to highlight that was a unbelievable pass as well. Like perfect pass.
I was actually it was really funny too because Oliver, we were just talking about on the Discord and we were watching the game. We were just talking about how we don't like Colwill on the left, and he literally bombs forward.
No, because this is how it went. So Caicedo, by the way, the ball from Caicedo to Colwill, that was another brilliant thing as well. Caicedo is another one who was great, but Caicedo put the ball out to Colwill. I'm like, oh, here we go, a nothing cross is going to happen here, and then he does that, like. Brilliant, like totally made me eat my words. Thank you, Colwill. Brilliant assist. No, I have no complaints whatsoever. That was fantastic.
I mean, I will also say this. It's kind. I mean, how have you guys been feeling about Colwill left back lately? Because now I'm kind of like, all right, well, it's 2 performances now that I've seen him at left back, and I'm like, oh, he actually played pretty well at left back. And like, I mean, I still rather see him at CB, but if he is on that lineup sheet and he's at left back, now I'm more inclined to kind of just, take the medicine a little better now. And now I'm more like, I don't mind it.
I still think Mudryk could benefit with an actual left back. Because Mudryk likes to go inside. He likes to invert inside. I'd like to see an overlapping or underlapping left back just for a more attacking part, essentially. I think also Colwill was playing against Brighton and wanted to prove something. He played well, but today I think when he saw the amount of space he was going to get, he just took it. It was an unbelievable pass, and people saying he can't pass or anything like that. Just shut up. I mean, just shut up, please. This whole thing. It's like just allow him to just allow him just to have his first season here with us. Just allow him to experience the bad and experience the good. He's a hell of a player. He's playing out of position as well.
Yeah,
out of position. I was going to say, I don't mind it for certain games if he plays like that. It's just some games he just cannot play. We saw it again. We saw it against Villa. Stuff like that.
Yeah,
he just couldn't play that role. Couldn't impact the role. It's just an impact that.
Even against.
I'm going to shoot off, but like, share, subscribe, and Marshall's probably going to have a Havertz thing soon that he scored a penalty. So
Yeah, I do have to do that.
So when he scores. So when he scores, now you have to
All right,
do it.
people. I'll see you
I've
later.
always said it. All right, later.
Yeah.
I'm actually mad he scored a fucking penalty.
You're
It doesn't help
a nasty
me.
piece of work. You're actually a nasty piece of week. Yeah, you're a nasty piece of work, man. I want you to know that, Marshall, man. You know what I'm saying? You're having penalties now. Double O, so 1008. Is that what you did?
Well, it took him 8 games, right?
108. Lord have mercy, man. Yo.
Listen, man, the world's most misunderstood player. But speaking of misunderstood players, I want to come back to you, Ahmed. So we're talking about Colwill at left back, right? Assuming maybe we can finally get him to play center back. Does Cucurella not get a shout for you to play center back? You think after this game, or not center back? I'm sorry, left back. You think after this game, that's it for Cucurella? It's lights, because it's 2 games in a row now that he's put in a good performance. I don't think this performance was as good as the last game, but still a good performance, Cucurella. And you have the agenda, so go ahead.
Can you stop talking about this guy, man? He's meaty, man. He's meaty. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm just kidding. Okay, on a rather honest note, yeah. I think obviously Burnley, he'll still play that after Burnley because of the Gusto ban, right, at right back. But after that,
oh no, Reece James is not ready for that game. I forgot.
No, he's not.
And has there on James quickly? Has there been a thing about his the referee thing with the incident?
They still haven't charged him yet, so he may not even be able to play the Arsenal game. So it'll probably be good.
Yeah, we're waiting for whatever they do with him, whether it's just a fine or whether it's a ban as well.
But I made this point to you, Marshall. I don't. Obviously, he doesn't see Maatsen as a fullback. So if that's the case, I don't mind giving Cucurella the chance to play left back. But I don't want him to. I don't want that to be happening straight away out against Arsenal, though. I would much rather, we have Brentford after Arsenal, if I'm not mistaken, right? Maybe in the Brentford game.
I think so, yeah.
We try him out actually in the Brentford game as the left back, and we see what happens there. Because I don't want him to be thrown into the wolves as a left back straight away, against Arsenal. If you get my drift, it would be a bit wrong with me. But I would definitely be open for him to be trying that over Chilwell. No doubt about that in my mind.
Well, I mean, you say like thrown into the wolves, but he's had 2 games now, and it's been at right back.
But it's a bit different, isn't it? Going from right back to left back. Yes, there may be the same situation.
It's more natural position to him, though. Wouldn't you say it would be better there?
That's because it's more natural. It doesn't. But he hasn't played in a while. He's been playing right back for quite a bit of time right now, isn't it? So that's the only thing. And plus, the thing for me, I always say this. Yeah, there's no point. Of just rushing him into there straight away. Chill. Arsenal game, we can play Cole there. I don't mind. We need to be more defensive anyway in the Arsenal game. I would argue more so. So having Cole there doesn't actually necessarily matter. But Brentford game, try him there at the Brentford game.
My question:
if he works, then afterwards you got Manchester United or something like that. Continue on if that works.
The question I got is for the Arsenal game: do we play Cucurella at right back, or do we bring Gusto in, who's 3 games lacking sharpness now? That's a question we've got.
But Gusto will be playing under 21 football. He'll be playing under 21 football, so he will have.
I also agree that you should bring Gusto in.
Yeah, you already. Gusto's been playing very well there. That's the thing. Like it would be very harsh in my opinion, or unfair to him after the amount of games he's done played.
We're talking about rushing Cucurella back to left back. You could argue a similar thing with rushing Gusto into right back after missing 3 games.
But Gusto's only going to be missing only 1 week and a half of football, and he's resting. That's the difference, though.
All right.
Remember, he's still training. He's still doing everything. The only thing that's not happening is playing games, and he'll get that gameplay when he's playing the under-21s in France. So,
I mean, if it gives you any comfort, Oliver, if you remember when Gusto made his debut in the preseason, he was pretty on it, so it goes to show he didn't need match fitness.
No, he was definitely on it. I'm a fan of the player. I'm just posing the question because you do have a bit of you could argue there is a bit of a selection headache with the way Cucurella has performed there.
True. I would say that. Yeah, there is a bit of a selection headache. But I think Cucurella deserves to play more games. It's just a matter, I think. The problem is, I think Cucurella getting game time is going to solely depend on how often Pochettino is going to want to play Colwill in that left back position versus a center back position. And it's also probably dependent on Thiago Silva. If
Chilwell.
Listen, and Chilwell, well, maybe not so much Chilwell, because it seems now that Poch is willing to drop Chilwell when needed. But it's just that I think Poch has certain players that he really trusts. It seems like Levi Colwill and Thiago Silva are two of those players. And I would actually probably say Disasi is probably the other one as well. Honestly, I think when you look at that, the back four, or just the 3 out of the 4 in that back 4, I think like solidified starters in that defense are going to be Disasi, Silva, and Colwill. I just don't know how Cucurella breaks into that.
But this is where you go back to the conversation we had earlier. Like 2 out of those 3, until Badishile is back fit, and then at that point you have a decision to make. Until that's the case, the back 2 partnerships should be Colwill and Disasi.
I agree. I just do you see? Do you actually see Poch?
No, of course not. Of course not. But I'm just talking about it just in terms of general, like, and just in terms of what I do. Like, you got, for me against Arsenal, you do bring Gusto back into the team. You put Cucurella back on the left, and you go that centre back partnership. For me, just because I do think that that's a team in terms of with Arsenal, with the way they play. I think with the way Saka plays, that could be a game that Colwill may struggle, especially if he's asked to play kind of as a more traditional left back, which we've seen him do basically since the Bournemouth game, I think. So yeah, that would be a game I would drop Silva for, and bring Cucurella back in to play as a natural left back. Whether he does that or not, I honestly don't think he will, to be completely honest. But yeah, and I just think the way that I think there is a way you can include both of them, like in terms of Colwill and Gusto in the team, not Colwill, Cucurella and Gusto in the team, and it does make sense. It's just about whether Poch will do that. I don't think he will.
God of Frogs, I don't know how you drop the Disasi though. He hasn't been bad.
Disasi's been the better centre back. That's the thing for me. It's like he's been the better centre back.
Like, people want to, rag on Disasi for whatever reason, but in the last few games, he's been really good. He's been solid.
There's a bit of racism going on there, man. You know what I'm saying, man? We're taking notes, man. We're taking notes, man. You know what I'm saying? We're taking notes right there. I'm just kidding, by the way, guys.
Oh, no, we know. But, like, still, it's just, it's a really hard selection headache, and Cucurella's just been playing really well, and you want to try to fit him in the team somehow, but it's so hard to see how when you have Poch, who has his players that he trusts, and then you have the players that are performing. So I don't know. If it were up to me, I would drop Silva, go with at least for now, go with Disasi, Colwill. Like EE said here, we don't have to be playing Silva every week. We don't. It could play 1 week on, 1 week off, or a cup game here. He should be given a break from time to time. But that brings me to the other question I wanted to ask, guys. Is how do you feel? Well, let's go back a step even further. We have to talk about that Vinicius foul. How the fuck is that guy not being sent off? How in what world does VAR look at that and say, "Oh, it's just a yellow"? Like, it's one thing if it was a corner, because I get corners, like, we get all feisty, and the players get all feisty and shit, and like they start doing, dark arts. It's all over the place there. But this wasn't even a corner. It was in the middle of a play, and he does that to Silva. It should have been a red card. That's violent conduct. How the fuck does VAR not look at that and give a red? It's absurd. It triggers me. I see red when I fucking saw that, and it wasn't a red card.
Because the people running VAR are incompetent. That's really the long and short of it. We saw what happened on the weekend in the Liverpool game. Mm-hmm. That really says it all. Really, that was a catastrophic decision. And granted, we won today, and this is what we need to be doing. I know we won today. And, we can't go and moan that this cost us the game or whatever. you still got to have the energy for it, because this will, at some point, if this incompetency continues, then it will cost us a game. So you have to hold the same energy. That's all I'd say to people that may be brushing it under the rug just because we came out with 3 points.
Yeah.
I couldn't care, man. I couldn't care less, man. We just moved, you know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
I really couldn't care less.
My guy was trying to put fucking Thiago Silva in a coma. Trying to karate
sorry.
chop him. This isn't a kung fu
Who-
movie, dude.
I couldn't care if it was even Naruto or Sasuke.
Oh, if it was
that
Gallagher,
doing
you'd be up in arms, bro.
that. Listen, I don't even give a crap as Gallagher. I'll be honest, bro. And listen, if it doesn't affect us now, then
Yes,
it doesn't. And like,
I'm kind of Chelsea
these
fan.
guys
like
already
you are,
on.
man.
These guys already on like heavy pressure because Liverpool and GMB, talking about if this happens, imagine if we lose the league by 1 point. You know what I'm saying? So. Sorry, man, this shit will get sorted out eventually, man. They got to sort it out now, you know what I mean? Because Liverpool now are in the news now, so you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? The media darlings are crying now, so they have to fix it. So they'll fix it then. It might not have happened today, but in the future, it won't be happening anymore.
I hope you're right, because that was absurd.
No. Have you not been seeing, man? They are glazing these Liverpool guys. I have never seen Chelsea, with the stuff that's happened for Chelsea, have a Good Morning Britain segment. Yeah, let that sink in. That is regular news that people listen to on the way to work. So watch on the way to work, or while they're putting the kids on.
I understand the call was bad with that Liverpool offsides, but are people really that up in arms about it?
Listen, it's Liverpool.
Ahmed, it was a very, very bad call.
No. It's a very bad call, but the problem is, there's a difference between it being a bad call and then it's also the compound effect of it also being Liverpool, who are literally, the media favorites. You know what I mean? The majority.
I understand.
I'm gonna have a hot take here. Hot take here, but is it that bad of a call?
The offside is a bad call. No.
It is a bad call. It is a bad call. I get that, especially when you don't even draw the lines, and that's ridiculous.
Also, have you read the reason why that happened? It wasn't just the lines. Basically the video assistant referee thought that the on-field decision was a goal, so he said check complete in 5 seconds and didn't clarify what the actual decision was. So he basically thought it was one thing.
Exactly. That's
a
howler. But it was disallowed. Jesus Christ. That's
what I'm saying to you, bro. There's a lot of stuff I just think, obviously it's a lot of the stuff that we're saying is bad and everything. Let's not get it twisted, but also it just compounds when it's Liverpool and the majority of the pundits are like Liverpool fans. You know what I'm saying to you? That just makes it worse because then they can put that pressure that they need to do whatever they want to do. So it's also that is also to be taken into account.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. Scott, did you want to add anything to the Vinicius thing or even this call?
Should have been a red card. I don't know where I stand really in terms of still giving the energy. Obviously, VAR needs to be better, but that just comes down to the people using it. I keep saying that. We'll always continue to say that because there are not this many problems. When you go and look elsewhere, there wasn't this many problems in the World Cup. There are not this many problems in the MLS, where the quality of ref you would think is worse, but it isn't. There's not this many problems anywhere else in world football apart from maybe in a couple of leagues in Europe because they are also incompetent. But yeah, it didn't really affect us today. So I can't give it too much energy just because it does also feel a little bit like complaining for the sake of complaining.
Sure.
Yeah, it should have been a red card. 100% should have been a red card.
I just want there to be some consistency. It's just.
Of course, we all want that. I just don't think it's ever going to happen with the quality of refs. And the thing is what we can only hope, right, is that the refs that the older refs in terms of your Mike Deans, your Lee Masons, your I'm trying to think who else, Anthony Taylors, these guys who have been around a while. When they leave, when they fuck off, and you get more of the guys that came in today, and I think this was his first Premier League game, the guy who ref today, hopefully you get more of guys like that. Hopefully things will start to change. You can hope. Whether they will or not remains to be seen, but that's just hope that you can have.
And just quickly, for anyone saying that, get rid of VAR, no. Like Scott said, and like I said, it's the people behind it. And if you want a clear example of that, you need to go back and rewatch the Brighton game where that ridiculous offside was given for BROJA being in our own half. So you know,
yeah, BROJA,
or whoever it was. But you know, getting rid of it's not the solution. The technology isn't the thing making the error.
Yeah, 100%. I get that, and it is frustrating. I did want to bring this up, and I'm a little concerned with the player. So Mudryk Caicedo versus Fulham, 91% pass accuracy, 4 out of 4 long balls, 6 out of 9 ground duels won, 2 tackles, 2 times fouled, 1 interception, 1 block, 0 times dribbled pass, which is fantastic. Ahmed, what the hell? Ahmed have a sour lemon stuck on your face there, man. But listen, I think the players are fantastic. I am concerned that we are going to injure this guy. So I was going to say, how do you guys feel about possibly benching him next game? Just so he can, you know, recover, hopefully, because he's been playing with this fucking knee brace for the past 3 games now. His knee's been taped up or whatever. So it's just concerning.
I'd be fine with it. I mean, you know, I don't want to jinx anything, but it is Burnley. They have not been a good
We've
team.
got some news on Caicedo, actually, the injury. So apparently,
yeah, go on.
Martino has said Mudryk felt something in his quad after the match. Caicedo has contusion, which is a bruise, and was tired. So hopefully nothing in that. Bro had declared his withdrawal precautionary in his Sky Sports interview. So nothing to be concerned about.
No, but just on the next game, though, I'd still be happy to like rest Caicedo. You know, he came back from Ecuador with this knock, and he's been carrying it clearly. I wouldn't risk it, especially, you know, going into the hectic run that we're about to go into.
Yeah,
and we've got Leslie Ugochukwu right there. You know, he's shown a good enough ability to come in these kind of situations for like one-offs or 2-offs or whatever, and just do the job. You know, he's a more than capable player of just doing that role here and there. So it wouldn't bother me one bit. I don't want to lose Caicedo for these crucial games coming up, because we won't stand a chance without a player of his quality.
I mean, go ahead, Scott.
I'll say I'm fine with him playing. As long as, again, it's a similar thing with the Mudryk thing. As long as he is fit to play, like as long as the medical team does the checks they're meant to do, and you know, advises he's fit to play, I'm more than happy for him to play. We're playing like once a week. If we're having to debate dropping players, dropping is the wrong word, but like rotating players out for injury problems, we're playing once a week. Like, and this is a guy who up until this season had never had a serious injury. Still has never had a serious injury. I think the most he's missed from game time was either the injury that he had from us, or there was an injury he had either at Brighton or in Belgium when he was on loan there. Like, he's had like 3 injuries his whole career. Yeah, like I'm fine with him playing. I've got no issue as long as the checks are done properly and due diligence is done. But
do you trust our medical team though, Scott?
I do. Like the problem, like when people like question the medical team, I don't know how many like I don't know what more else they can do in terms of like, excuse me, like I don't know what more they can do, because I don't blame the injuries on them. Because the injuries that we're getting are just a range of injuries. I think it's just the modern game at the moment. Just people just get injured, which sucks, but it's kind of just how it is.
Yeah,
I'm fine with him playing. I've got no issue with that personally.
I mean, if we can get away with resting him just so he can fully recover that, because I know it's a contusion. It's not terrible. It's still a shitty injury.
You know, we have an international break after this, right? So Burnley's going to be the last game for him for like, unless he goes.
We have an international break. He doesn't have an international break. He's just going to play every game as well.
We can, but the club can say if he's not feeling good, they can ask him to stay back. You know.
Wait, what kind of an international break is it? Is it like qualifiers? Is that what they're going to do?
It's just friendlies right now. A lot of the qualifiers are pretty much done, if I'm not mistaken.
CONMEBOL, right? Yeah, CONMEBOL. Is it going to be qualifiers? Oh, fuck. I did the wrong thing. I'll look into it later. But if it's qualifiers, you're going to ask him to play. Ecuador's trying to qualify to the World Cup.
It made me a lot more comfortable if I could watch him play without that strap that he's got on his like upper knee.
Well, even
Or
today, like he
lower
was
thigh.
limping off the pitch. You know, it was like
He's-
just looked
I mean,
bad.
didn't he bash knees just before that though? That is pretty that's a funny bone.
yeah,
It was the other knee though. It wasn't even the knee he had strapped up.
Yeah, but
Was
like
it
even
the-
like
oh.
bashing knees is still like really like awkward and painful.
It is
So
awkward. So, yeah, October 12th, he has a game against Bolivia, and these are just qualifiers. They're not friendlies, so he's probably going to play them. You know, this is an Ecuador team that's trying to get back into the World Cup. 2 years in a row. So, or two
there's no World Cup qualifiers
competitions
right
in a
now.
row.
It's just regular.
No, it's a World Cup qualifier. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh,
World
is
Cup qualifier. Bolivia, Ecuador. Yeah, they've been doing it. The last month it was also qualifiers. That's how he got hurt.
I don't know,
It
man.
wasn't
I don't
friendly.
think
no. Last month was the European qualifiers, but that's South America for him.
He's
so.
doing the Latin America.
South America also had qualifiers. When you guys are
What
doing
are they called again? Oh, I literally just forgot his name right now. I was about to say his
Ooh.
name as well.
Mario Pizarro.
No, because for India it's called the Euros, isn't it? But I forgot what it's called.
Yeah. Copa America.
Copa America, yes, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. There's no qualifiers for that. All the teams in South America are just they're
Really, bro? Then
Yeah.
how many do you have to do?
How many what?
So like, how many World Cup qualifiers did he have to have? Then that's crazy. Like, he must be going through hoops just to get through that.
How many
Is
World Cup qualifiers do they have? I mean,
like, surely
that's,
now
that's a home and away fixture. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Isn't there like now more people that can get into the World Cup now because they've increased the
Yes, it just means there's more. So instead of it being, for example, I think there is 6 that qualifies from CONMEBOL. So instead of it being 6, it's like 8 or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, so that'll be alright.
But like they still play the same amount of qualifiers, so like they'll still play
fair
every South American team.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah,
All the
so I
South
mean,
American
I wouldn't mind going up against Burnley and having Leslie Wichuku take his place just so he can rest up his knee, this contusion he has. I just don't want it to get worse because contusions can get worse. And then before you know it, this guy's injured, broken thigh bone, whatever, the femur, whatever.
I'm slightly.
I need none of that or a fracture.
I am slightly cautious about it because if I remember correctly, what was it? It was either the Villa game or the Brighton game. He only had one training session before that game. This was after the international break, so he came in very, very like cold in terms of his fitness levels on that game, and it may have gotten better since then. But I wouldn't mind us being cautious. But like Scott said, if they've done their due diligence correctly and checked him up properly, then put out the best 11. We need to be doing better in the league anyway. So
I freaking hope so. And another player too that I want to start giving a little bit more respect to this guy. I mean, I already kind of have, but Robert Sanchez. This is a little bit of a deceiving stat, right? Robert Sanchez has the most clean sheets, 3 in the Premier League so far, which I'm pretty sure is that what was the inaccuracies with this, Oliver?
He's tied with about 3 or 4 goalkeepers. I think he's tied with Sam Johnston of Crystal Palace, Bernd Leno of Fulham played tonight, and Ederson. And I think there was one other, I can't remember, but he's basically joint top for clean sheets. They kind of, I mean, it is right. I saw another tweet from Squawker saying that no one has more clean sheets than him, and it is correct, but he's not the only one that holds that distinction, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, man? He needs to fix up his hairline, man. That's like me. So
this guy.
Hey, he didn't. Hey.
It's only 50k, we actually checked it, by the way. We checked how much
Marshall, he said just like me, he took accountability there. There you go.
Yeah, you did take accountability, Ahmed. I wasn't going to call you out on that one. But no, this guy's been good. Listen, the distribution...
Listen, the real test here, Marshall. The real test here is coming up, Brigman. Arsenal, Brentford, United, City, etc. That's coming. That's the real test. That's the real
right.
I was Brentford shouldn't be a test.
I'll be completely honest. Of all the games, this is not the game I'd use to big up Sanchez.
No, I'm not. Yes, you're right. There were better performances and better. He had man of the match performances before. I'm just saying that there was an opportunity today where Fulham could have scored, and Sanchez did block it. Good reflex save there. But what I'm trying to get at,
I'm not giving. I'll be completely honest. I'm not giving him any praise for that save. He should be making that save. If he doesn't make that save, we're all clowning him. I'm not giving him praise for that save.
Yes, man.
The guy kicked at him. Like he literally.
You know what?
I'm talking about the one where he reacted to and footed it away.
You know where? You know where it is?
You're talking about the one they should have scored in the second half, near the end of the second half.
Yes, it's the end of the second half.
Yes, but it was like what was it? Like a corner or something like a
no, it was a ball across the box. It was a ball across the box, and Lukic should have scored and instead kicked it straight at Sanchez. Like I'm not giving Sanchez praise for that.
You know what it is, Scott, bro? He just wants to give this. He just wants to glaze this guy because Kepa's gone now, so he wants to have another goalkeeper. That's all it is, man. We get you, bro. And now I'm saying we get.
I mean,
man.
Kepa is. Listen, I'm just trying to make sure we're all on the same page. All right, I just like to state the facts because when Sanchez came into this team and people were doubting him, saying like, "Oh, I don't know if he's as good as Kepa," and it's like, no, he is better than Kepa. He's not astronomically better.
Yeah,
he's
but
better than Kepa. The bar is low, but he's better than Kepa.
Yeah,
but I'm still not. And like, I'll praise him for other games and other saves he's made, like the one he made. Some of the saves he made against. I think it was in the Villa game or in the Bournemouth game. I can't remember. No, it was in the Villa game. Some of the saves he made in the Villa game were quality. That I'm not giving him praise for this game. Like I'm like. He's had way better games so far for us this season than this. This is not the game to be praising Sanchez when he did nothing apart from make a save, which he should have made.
Listen, man, you need to stop. Listen, I don't know, man. Do you have an attraction to this guy? What's going on, man? You always looking to praise the GK, bro. What's going on, man? Marshall,
bro, I just like to, I like to pull out the receipts, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, just
all right, bro,
gotta the receipts. There's haters in my chat, bro. There's haters in my chat. There's haters in.
Listen, I ain't hating on him.
Twitter.
I told you before, he's a minimal upgrade on Kepa, and we gotta start.
That's what I mean. You're a hater. He's not. Okay.
It's true. We're gonna. For me, I'm gonna tell you this right now, bro. We're gonna see the reality very soon. You know what I mean?
Do you really think the 3 games prior to this, the 2 games where he was pretty much man of the match, 2 games in a row? You really think Kepa would have done that for you? 2 games man of the match in a row?
I told you he's better than Kepa though. What's going on? I agree with that he's better than Kepa. I'd say he's a minimal upgrade though. That's the difference. Yeah. There's a difference.
Listen, I'm not convinced on the distribution thing though. I'll be honest with you guys. This thing that we got Sanchez, he's better at distributing. Like I think it's the same. I don't think he's any much better than Kepa at distributing.
Yeah, man. He's lucky he ain't delivering pizza, man, because his distribution there wouldn't be any good either. So.
Yeah, no, he wasn't that great distributing, but I like how he's commanding in the box. We needed that. We haven't gotten that. We never got that from Kepa, so it's
come on,
it's a fresh air.
Lordy Lord.
But okay, what other player do I have here that I want to discuss? Oh yeah, Levi Colwill. Let's look at some of his stats. Boom, Levi Colwill. And by the way, 77 of you guys watching, be sure to smash up that like button, please. It does help out the channel tremendously.
So you have an agenda against Levi Colwill?
No. Yeah, I'm just pulling up his stats, man. Levi Colwill starts versus Fulham. 31 out of 38 passes completed, 1 assist, 3 clearances, 3 tackles, 0 times dribble pass, and 5 out of 7 ground duels won. Out of position at left back.
He's still out.
He's been playing good.
Really well. Right?
Yeah, he did fantastic. It kind of stinks because maybe it's solidifying more and more to Pochettino that he should be playing at left back. I want to see him play at center back. At center back against Brighton, he was phenomenal. The left back, I mean, he was playing well at left back. I just don't want to see him. Against Arsenal, with Saka's on the right wing, right? Yeah, with Saka there, I don't see Colwill being that strong defensively against like a pacey winger on that left back position.
But
it is concerning.
I don't think that matters though necessarily. I just think as long as he's positionally aware, that's what matters. You know what Saka wants to do when he's playing that position. So we should. So if you know the player's gameplay, then there's not really a need of you to be that fast, right? But you got your boy Thiago Silva. He ain't one of the fastest lads. You know what I mean? In the group, is he?
Yeah, true. But that positioning comes with experience and time. I mean, I'm not trying to say Colwill isn't smart enough to do it, but I just feel that at his age, he's not 100% polished. He's not 100% foolproof. You know, there are going to be times where he makes a mistake, and in a high pressure game, in a high pressure situation, when it's against Spurs, when it's against Arsenal, when it's against a City, United, like these big games, that's when the pressure sometimes gets to you. We saw what happened with Chalobah multiple times in last season, where in the big games, sometimes he made the foolish mistakes, you know, and he was good overall, but there's that one moment, like, you know, you make that mistake and boom, that's it. Like that's a chance that the other team needs to score. With Colwill at left back against an Arsenal that's coming up, I don't know. It does make me nervous. I don't know if I want him at left back.
This for me, this seems like you're hating. Like you
maybe
like, you know, you call me an agenda merchant against, you know, Kukurea.
I don't have an agenda against Colwill.
I feel like you do, bro. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. He had a fantastic game today.
All right, buddy. I feel
like you, I can say when players have good games. Okay.
I feel like you've got an agenda on him. Personally speaking, mate. This is my opinion, though.
Scott, what do you think about my agenda?
I think Cole was good. I do agree with you. I don't want to see him left back anymore. Like, he was good today, and like, if he's going to continue playing well, then like, fair enough. You can't really complain. But again, it's like a long-term thing. I do not want to see him playing left back. It makes no sense. You have two other guys that can play left back ahead of him that are more suited to that position. You arguably have three. And yeah, I just like, he played really well today though. Like, he was quality. Like, and you're seeing kind of, I said earlier, like, you're seeing kind of more of his kind of game in terms of, we knew, if you watched Brighton last season, you knew his passing was unbelievable. You knew his passing was very good. You knew that in terms of him driving with the ball, that was very good. But we haven't really seen him get in attacking areas. He's also had to do a lot more defending in terms of 1v1 defending than I think he had to do at Brighton. And I think he's had shaky moments. I also think he's had good moments. And so yeah, it's really about just excuse me. It's really just about making sure that kind of carries on, and you know, and he still keeps progressing. Because I think as well, it shows. I mentioned this earlier, but I think some of his play and the fact that like he is improving in terms of going forward, I think shows that he's taking things on in training, and he's taking information on, and he's learning. And I think that shows the sign of a good player, the fact that they can take things on, learn. Because like we see with other players like that we've had at this football club and just at other clubs in general, they don't learn. Like, they're still doing the same thing that they were doing like 2-3 years ago. And the fact that in a few games that he's starting to learn new things, I think it can only be a positive thing.
This idea, and you guys tell me what you think. This idea kind of just popped into my head while you were talking, Scott. I have a theory now. What if what Poch is trying to do with forcing Levi Colwill at left back, and we've seen improvements in that left back position game by game. What if what Poch is trying to do is essentially develop Levi Colwill to be a Reece James in the left back position?
What do you mean by that?
So Reece, we know Reece is really good at the right back position because, one, he does the one good thing, defend very well. He's a good defender. The other thing that makes Reece amazing at the right back position is his passing and crossing ability, which we know Levi Colwill has good passing ability. And today's cross gives me confidence that he has good crossing ability as well. What if over time, what Poch is trying to do is develop Levi Colwill to be able to play in the left back position so that he can give the team what Reece James provides on the right back, but on the left back as well. So a left back Reece James, we just call him Levi Colwill. We have two Reece James in this team. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, what if that's the idea? I
don't think it's going to be quite hard for him to replicate like for like. I mean, the physicality is obviously different, and
that's a.
I'll be honest. You know, watching Colwill body type, and also just watching Colwill defending some like 1v1s. One thing I do know, or not even 1v1s, but when we get broken in behind, he's not the quickest guy, like on his recovery pace. So I don't even know.
Though. I don't think Reece is that fast.
Oh no, Reece is fast. He's fast.
No,
Reece is deceptively quick.
He's
Okay,
got the
fair enough.
acceleration. You know, he's not like he's not got sprint speed, but you know the acceleration. He can accelerate
Yeah,
quite quickly. That's the thing that helps so much, especially against speed wingers. If you're like a fullback, can accelerate a bit faster than usual.
Yeah, so I don't think Colwill has the acceleration down to be like a major, like, you know, sort of like springing on the opposition kind of like threat down the wing. Like maybe he could be trying to develop those attributes. And you know, there's a few differences because James has been playing that right back position since his youth days, and you know he's been knowing how to cross properly. Like one of the things with me when Colwill gets forwards, like before this game, his crossing hasn't been the best, but that's because he's not used to those zones yet. And I just think if you're going to do that, you've got to be prepared to be very patient with him.
I feel like Levi, he does have good crosses in him, and the crosses we've seen, like they just haven't resulted in goals because we just weren't clinical and we weren't in good positions. I've always seen that he had good crossing in him, but I think today he finally connected.
I think he can cross. It's just that the problem is like maybe some of the decision making in those zones. Like I don't know if you remember the play against Bournemouth where he just crossed it into crossed it on the ground into a Bournemouth player when he had ample passing opportunities. Like it's things like that, you know. That comes with learning the position. If that's what we're trying to do here, you know, that will take time. But I'd prefer him to play centre back. But you're going to have a dilemma anyway because with Badiashile coming back, it's a debate of are you going to play Colwill when Badiashile was two left footers in the back four, or are you going to play Disasi at right centre back to have the left foot, right foot, and then have Colwill at left back? You know, there's a conversation to be had there. Maybe that's what Poch is doing, but we'll just have to wait and see for when those options are available.
To be fair, you could also do the good old Monaco duo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So have Badiashile and Disasi and Colwill at left back. That could be an avenue, but we'll just have to wait and see for when Badiashile is fit to be available, and we can start seeing what the plan is.
Yeah. To be fair, I need to watch some highlight tapes on that. You know, to see what they were like together defensively and the defensive actions to see if that's even a viable option. To be honest.
Having him develop into like a
no.
I'm
I'm talking about Badiashile and Disasi at the time Monaco because I only watched I only started watching not quite seriously over the last 2 seasons, innit? I only saw a bit of them for 1 season, so I need to roll the tape in it and get that analysis done. If you know.
Gotcha. But Scott, Ahmed, what did you guys think of that theory?
I think the theory.
I don't like it.
Don't like it. Okay.
Yes, it doesn't make the maths is not mathing on that one, bro. Yeah, the maths is not.
I think that there's so many differences between the two in terms of like. James obviously had the body type's different. I also think he's way more comfortable getting forward than Colwill is. Like you can still see even with a few, like even though he's improving, you can still see there's moments with Colwill where like he's not entirely sure of how to be in terms of going forward. And so yeah, that would not be something that I would like to see going forward. At all. Really.
One thing I forgot to say as well. You know, James has the goal threat. You know, Colwill was nowhere near that yet. You know, James's ball striking is unbelievable.
I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right on that. I feel like there have been times this season that Colwill has gotten himself in goal scoring positions and just didn't, expose him. He didn't take advantage of it.
This isn't a criticism of Colwill because James's ball striking for a defender is like top class, like one of the best I've ever seen. You know, it's amazing.
But that's just an idea that popped into my head while Scott was talking about Colwill.
Can I just say quickly?
Go for it.
If it were like you were saying a conspiracy theory there, man, and I'll be honest, I'm so sorry. That was conspiracy theory-esque in my opinion, but it is what it is.
Listen. You can't chat to me with this whole Nani Madueke agenda.
It's true. The Nani Madueke, there's evidence.
This man
behind
said
it,
it's true already. Jesus Christ!
For me,
you came up with this conspiracy theory 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Listen. You know, conspiracy. Listen. On Casually FC, we don't spark conspiracy theories. I like to think, you know, we're real football men. So let's have the conspiracy theories, please.
All right. Well, anyways, the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, and probably the final topic is, what do you guys think? Now that we've seen some glimmer of hope, right? How are you feeling with the upcoming games after Burnley? The tough run of games. Are you feeling that we might have a chance here? Because I still hold the belief that when the teams let us play our football and don't just sit back, we actually tend to look better and perform better than against the teams with the low block.
We'll see, inshallah. That's all I can say on that one, man. We'll just have to see. But
no confidence.
Listen, man. You know they got
We're scoring again.
They got wow. So it's the first time we scored. This is only the second time we scored 2+ goals, guys. So you know, I mean, let's not get too happy.
Because I'm not ready to sit here and say like, oh, we're gonna lose. Like, I think we do have a chance.
For me, I personally would have said, I would have been a bit more confident if against someone like for example, let me think of a side like Aston Villa, for example. If we had done the Aston Villa game quite a lot better than what we had thought, then I think maybe I would have been like, you know what, fair enough, I could hear that, but not really, bro. I'll be real.
What about the rest of you guys?
I feel confident. Like I went into this game feeling confident just because you look at Fulham, like they can't score at all. That's their biggest issue this season. And so I was fairly confident going into this game. Even the Burnley game, I'm fairly confident about, just because even though Burnley have been playing well, I still think defensively you can get at them. And so as long as we take our chances like we did tonight, then we should be fine. I also do think we are playing better. And obviously, when you're playing better, you're going to feel kind of more positive about things. Excuse me. Yeah, I do. I think things are going well. Obviously, it's only been like 2 games in terms of us actually playing to what we expect. But you can kind of only build on that. Obviously, so much of this depends in terms of like if Poch is just going to go back to his usual nonsense like the next game, then it means nothing. But hopefully he doesn't do that. You know, we can only hope.
But that's the factor that is so unpredictable right now of Chelsea. I don't actually necessarily think it's the team. I think it's just, you know, what is Pochettino gonna do? I'd say that's what
I don't know how Poch can watch that game, and like the only way he can watch that game and be unhappy with it is when it comes to like controlling the possession, because I think I mean we definitely got done for possession in the first half, and you know from the eye test, second half wasn't too great as well. You know, we gave Fulham a lot of the ball, so unless he's looking at that as like a major thing that he wants to, you know, oh, we were doing this better in the last games and we did it this way. That's the only way I can see him changing that, because everything else was just spot on. You know, the way Caicedo and Enzo linked up. You know, we saw Palmer, just the way Palmer reads the game. You know, with some of the interceptions he was making from when Fulham were trying to play out. You know, he's an intelligent player, and Mudryk growing in confidence. I just don't see how you can change this unless Poch is literally saying, oh, you know, we had less possession in this game, which it's a nonsense, because you know we won the game today. It shows that you don't need possession to win the game. It's just a means to an end.
Fair enough. And it seems like most of you guys in the chat, you know, keep going the streak, obviously. We're getting some confidence. We're getting some momentum. I really hope that means that going forward, you know, Poch sticks with a similar lineup. Again, like he has some headaches, right? One of them being, what does he do with Gallagher? He wants to play Gallagher. He trusts Gallagher. And as much as we want to say Gallagher's not good enough for this team, he's also not been, you know, pivotal to this team losing games. And then there's also the selection headache of what do you do with Palmer now when Carney comes back, which he is training again. And then what do you do with Cucurella as well? So there's a few selection headaches going forward.
I'd even throw Sterling into that, because I mean I know Poch rates Sterling, but the way Palmer played on that right wing position today, you know, that is Sterling's place. And I would, you know, Sterling had the first 3 games were very, very good, but besides, you know, ever since the Luton game, I don't think it's been particularly impressive. So Palmer showed a different level, you know, like I said, the intelligence, the reading of the game today. So there could be an argument for him there, but it's about, you know, is Poch going to give him that chance? You know, he's done it with Mudryk. I think it could definitely pay off. I wouldn't mind seeing it whatsoever.
I think we don't need to be shaking batties around here. We need to go.
Yeah, it again,
Oh.
Ahmed.
Oh, he's
Bro.
into that game.
I said, we need to stop. We need to stop. We need players that are going to be playing football and not shaking batties. Simple as that, man.
Sterling heard you say that. He tried to stop you, man. Sterling out there trying to cut your
You
wires.
can't stop me, mate. You can't stop me, mate. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Me and him. Hey, man. Try that around here. We'll see what happens, Sterling. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't think there's anything else we need to touch on, by the way. So, unless you guys have anything else you want to say before we close this out,
I want to make a personal
say
shout
your,
out.
say your piece. You're gonna shout out your channel.
No, I'm
Okay.
literally want
Fair
to
enough.
talk about Marshall being shameless. There's been rumors, you know, I've been hearing murmurings that it's a Kai Havertz debate coming up soon, and you know, it's very ironic that this Kai Havertz debate starts to come up here only after Havertz has scored a penalty kick. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to know Marshall's a nasty piece of work, and that henceforth I will
Do you
not be.
think I'm gonna pull up to this debate and be like, listen, he scored 1 goal in 8 and say that
Listen,
like
man,
it's a good stat?
the way you're moving, mate, you might be start moving like this. Arsenal data analysts start talking about field tilt. You know what I mean? Havertz has got the most field tilt.
Field tilt, man.
The way you're moving, mate. You know what I'm saying? But that's all, man. But on a serious note, obviously, go subscribe to Casually FC, guys. Of course, like these guys are, you know, killing it. You know what I mean? You know, Marshall obviously give me the great content. Make sure to get those likes, subscribe to it, and get those memberships, man. 99p membership, you know what I'm saying? That's almost
Hey,
like, come on, bro.
Speaking of 99p, if you're a proper casual tiered member and higher, you get a shout out. And those shout outs are going to go to OG Turbo Jesus, Dark, Scott, Adrian, Will, A. Solomon, Maru CFC, The Danos, Chelsea Till I Die, AP, and Iwani. Big up to you guys for being proper casual and higher tiered members. Also, big up to everyone else who's a member. Be sure to use those emojis, enjoy those emojis. Like Ahmed said, we have 4 different tiers starting at 99p. I try to make it pretty affordable for anyone who just wants to have fun with the emojis, obviously. So let me just do this. Set up the raid here. We're gonna go ahead and raid Big Six Bants. Okay, so there's your red message, guys. Copy and paste that so that they know where you are coming from. And yeah, be sure to take that message and let them know where you guys are coming from. Be sure to also check out the links in the description below. We have multiple links there for Ahmed's channel, who's on his way to 1K. So be sure to help him out and getting to 1K. He also makes a lot of good content, short form, does live streams, all that stuff over on there. So check that out. Be sure to check out the Twitter down there, the Discord, all that fun stuff there. Like as well. Does help out the channel tremendously. If you haven't done so already, it's like wiping your feet at the door. Like the video. We're almost at 40 likes, so try to get us to at least 40 likes before I close this off today. Excuse me. Jesus. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. It does help us out. We're trying to get to 3K subscribers. It's a big milestone for us, so help us out by subscribing. And be sure also, guys, to leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about everything that we said. Let us know about Ahmed's Nani Madueke agenda and my tinfoil hat on Levi Colwill as the next Reece James left back. So let us know down below in the comments. All right, I do engage with the comments from time to time, so be sure to leave a comment down below in the comments section. But that being said, guys, I'm gonna leave you with the raid. Oh, also I forgot, the person that you guys thought was man of the match today was Cole Palmer. So 39% of you voted, 82 votes. Cole Palmer, man of the match. Caicedo, close second right there. But big up to everyone. We'll see you over on the what did I say? Big Six Pants. So thank you guys for being here tonight. As always, we'll see you again Wednesday for the call-in show. Right? So call-in show. And then we'll see you again. I don't know when. So hit the bell notification so you are notified when we do go live. But till then, guys, peace out. Stay casual. Have a good night.